Hi, this is Class Noodles Awakenings. You can just call me Noodles. And the title of my video today is Skepticism Can Be a Good Thing, Positive even. And the story of three fishes. Skepticism can be a good thing. It can even be positive for our own personal growth. Skepticism can be a great thing, and I will tell you why. I will tell you a story. The story is about three fishes. So, the story of three fishes and how having some skepticism can be a good thing. There were once three fishes. One fish was named Marvin, and he was an orange fish. One fish was named Gabriel, he was blue. And one fish was named Clarissa, and she was red. They were all swimming one day. After a while, they saw a ship that was abandoned and wrecked. It was a newly wrecked ship. They saw food in the ship, but the food was locked in a cabinet with a glass door. So they all tried their hardest with their fins, so they strained and they strained. The same way humans try to pull a huge rock or boulder out of the way. Marvin counted, and they had tried to put a cabinet open 40 times. They were all out of breath and exhaled loudly, each of them at least 40 times. Marvin, thinking to himself, was still positive and optimistic, decided to try 20 more times. So Marvin hears the orange fish, and these weren't soft, light, or half-baked pulls, or fin or muscle movements. Marvin, the orange fish, could feel the effects of the pull in his veins, especially in his forehead. So after 20 hard pulls, he decided he didn't have the muscle mass or strength to open the glass cabinet door. And so he decided to accept that he wasn't going to be able to eat the food in the cabinet that was also in the ship. So Marvin the orange fish said, "I'm letting this go. I don't think we're strong enough to pull the glass door open." Gabriel, the blue fish, said, "Please don't leave. We should try pulling it for the next 3 days at least." He said, "I have a lot of faith that we can do this." A positive attitude works all the time. Clarissa, the third and red fish, said, "I strongly believe we should stay too. I don't have much faith that we will find any new food, at least for the next month." So Clarissa's the red fish, and she's the one with the least faith. She doesn't believe that they can find any new food for a long time, and that the food in the glass cabinet in the ship is the only hope that they have. Marvin, the orange fish, responded, "I'm sorry, I made up my mind. Good luck to you both." Gabriel, the blue fish, said, "Okay, goodbye, good luck to you." Clarissa, the red fish, said, "See ya, good luck." So Marvin, the orange fish, then swam around the fish, going straight ahead. He must have swam for about 2 hours before he saw 20 small worms all stuck in a small reef. The fish was so excited, he decided to eat most of the worms for lunch. So Marvin, the orange fish, ate a bunch of worms that he found 2 hours. After 2 hours of swimming, he found this food. After he finished eating most of the worms, he lay still, burped, and thanked God for things not going his way. Another hour had passed. Marvin, the orange fish, was still lying down, still somewhat full from his huge feast. Marvin saw a few fish swim by him, then told him that Gabriel, the bluefish, and Clarissa, the redfish, were both found dead. These fishes found Gabriel and Clarissa being eaten by a few eels that were just swimming along. And Gabriel, this is when Gabriel and Clarissa just happened to be by the ship. The fishes talking to Marvin and announcing this bad news. Marvin's the orange fish, told Marvin that they suspected that Gabriel and Clarissa were too tired to swim for some reason. The fishes talking did not know about the heavy cabinet with food behind the glass cabinet door. And so the eels the fishes that were talking to Marvin, the orange fish, did not know about the heavy cabinet with food behind the glass cabinet door. So the eels, so Clarissa and Gabriel were too tired from trying to pull the glass cabinet door open. The eels saw them tired, so the eels ate them. Marge, the orange fish, was sad for Gabriel, the blue fish, and Clarissa, the red fish, but was happy he didn't try anymore to open the cabinet door. Marvin prayed to God to keep Gabriel and Clarissa both safe in heaven, but also prayed and thanked God for saving him. The end. So, you shouldn't take this story too literal or factual. I don't know much about fishes or ships, so the facts in here may not be 100% precise, and the information, obviously fish don't talk, and the information may not be 100% correct. So in the story, you can see how Gabriel, the bluefish, had too much faith. He tried too hard, and he tried to stay too long there. He believed too hard that he could pull the cabinet door open. Clarissa, the redfish, had little to no faith, and she stayed too long. She was the one with the least faith and the most negative. She believed that the wrecked ship with the closed cabinet door was the only hope they had, and that there was no food somewhere else that they could find. And finally, Marvin, the orange fish, tried hard enough. He had enough faith, but he had enough skepticism to walk away. So this story, I know that life doesn't work in this cut and dry way, or work in this straightforward way. This is just one example of having enough skepticism or being overly positive, or not being overly positive can work in one's favor. It could also be that Marvin left out and that there are too many factors to know whether Marvin made a perfect decision or not. Being too positive can sometimes lead to negative results. Having some skepticism can sometimes lead to positive results, helping avoid painful and uncomfortable situations, thus making skepticism a positive thing at times. In higher consciousness, the universe works in binary ways, positive, negative. In higher consciousness and in the spiritual world, we need both positivity and skepticism in our lives. It makes our lives work. I'm paraphrasing here. I've heard some spiritualists say, wanting a positive result is a negative thing, or wanting a positive result is a negative result. The story of these three fishes is an example of wanting a positive result is a negative result. Like how Gabriel wanted the glass cabinet door, he's the bluefish, to open so badly. Sometimes it's better to cut your losses and move on, which may help you open doors to more positive experiences and results later on. This is Class Noodles Awakening, or simply Noodles. I hope you enjoyed my fishes story. Have a great day.